Do you start your wipe with a base like this? I do. In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn a simple starter into this magnificent beast. Costing only 675 stone, 11,870 metal, and 113 high qual, you can find yourself inside this luxurious, defendable, high security solo duo base for your entire wipe. Batteries not included, additional personal upgrading costs may apply, full tour at the end of the video. Now let's go. First we have to claim our territory. We'll throw down a triangle, a couple walls, and our TC. If you really have to, you can close this off with a double door frame and a wooden door, but we're not going to do that here. Instead, we'll expand our foundation out like so. This will be the final footprint for our starter. We'll throw down 4 walls that lead us right into this door and these 2 wall frames. For now, we'll put up a double door and a single door. Add your code locks or key locks depending on your situation. For our ceiling, we'll use 2 square and 3 triangle floor tiles. Adding a double door here that swings outward gives us our airlock, and then we can put down a temporary sleeping bag. The total build cost so far is 1,000 wood, 3,885 stone, and 750 metal frags. Now let's fill this baby in. Before going in, we'll come around the side and build a square foundation, a half wall, and a floor tile. This will allow us to fit in extra storage. Inside our front door, we can see how the double door forms our airlock. Once we step inside, our first addition would be adding storage. With a large wooden box handy and our body against this right wall, we can place our first box. Although these boxes do not need to be placed perfectly to fit, when placing this third one, make sure you can still fit in a wall frame. I'll be using a single door here. Now we can utilize the twig buildup we have outside to add this triangle through the room. Next we can jump up and we're going to place 3 boxes on this shelf, 2 large and 1 small. Small one first. Again, the box placements do not need to be perfect here, but try to get this one as close to the edge as possible. Same with this one. This last one should fit in nice and easy, like so. Now that we have our main storage, we can start to add more security. To do this, we'll add a wall frame here. There will be a total of 2 double doors and 1 single door to complete this. Make sure this door swings towards the entrance, and then we can add a door frame here, hard side of the wall towards us. By adding a door here, we have a more secure tool cupboard and can access it like this. Now we can add our final wall frame here and throw up a double door. This one also has to open towards the entrance. Now that we have some basic security, we can start adding quality of life items and progressional ones, such as this workbench. But wait, where are our furnaces? Don't worry, you can add those at any time, even before the boxes. I'm demonstrating the most static deployables in this video, and things like furnaces are always getting moved. That being said, I'll put 3 furnaces here, but this is not their permanent home. We'll accompany these furnaces with this small box for local storage, and it can be used for a quick drop as well. And that's pretty much the starter. Adding stuff like tuna can lamps and bed rugs can be done at your own discretion. Just remember to come outside and destroy this twig buildup. I almost forgot in the video.
Upgrades.
The most practical approach would be to upgrade to sheet metal. This includes walls, ceilings, and foundations. Upgrading the frames is up to you. Starting at our secondary entrance, we'll start adding foundations to every side except for the one at the front entrance. There will be a total of 6, and this makes up our basic honeycombing. Once we get here, we can start to add triangle ceiling tiles above the spots where we just put the foundations. Although people usually put the walls in first, this technique seems to be just a bit more fluid for me. The spot above the door doesn't get a triangle. You'll see why in a little bit. Lastly, we'll enclose the honeycombing using full walls like so. There are 6 sections, each of which use 2 walls, so that's a total of, well, 6 times 2. If you carry the 1, it's 9 wall. Wait, that ain't right. Well, you get the idea. We'll be adding a defense floor with access to this triangle, but there are a couple things we must do first. I'll assume we want roof access to the entire footprint of the first floor, so we can finish that up right now. We'll throw down this simple addition to our front door. Its main purpose is to increase the cost for a raider that goes through doors. From now on, I'm going to use garage doors instead of sheet metal doubles. If you don't have the garage door blueprint, get it. Garage doors make the raid cost so much more expensive. Next, we can come inside and pick up this small box and this furnace. We'll replace this door with a garage door for easier roof access. When placing garage doors, I like to keep the roll-up part facing a square foundation if possible. This is to hide the location from the outside. By simply adding these garage doors, we have pretty much doubled the raid cost through this path. Another great thing about garage doors is they take up way less space in the livable area and afford us the feeling of roominess to the base. At this stage of the wipe, you should want some basic roof access without completely ruining your base's security. This is pretty cheap to accomplish, so we'll do that now. We'll start by dropping that furnace into this corner here. I like to eventually put a ladder here, but you could jump onto this pretty easy as well. Next we can place this wall frame and secure it with 2 walls, hard side facing away from you. Since people can get on our roof pretty easy at this point, we'll put a garage door here with the roll-up part facing us. To build what you see here will cost 1,000 wood, 8,220 stone, and 2,390 metal fragments. These numbers represent the total amount of resources necessary to get to this point and do not get added to the original starter base cost. To build our defense floor, we'll start with using wall frames that are placed around the perimeter of the sheet metal section on the floor. We'll need to add an additional wall frame here and here as well. We're going to use a stability trick that requires us to stack two half walls on top of each other, like this, around the entire base. Defense floors have many different variations with stuff like windows and walls, which result in many different build and upkeep costs. I chose to go with this one because it's the most secure and most expensive. Hopefully this gives you a baseline if you wish to adjust the design. Now we can start demolishing the bottom half wall on each section. Without the wall frames that we put previous, the top half wall would collapse and this wouldn't work. Pretty cool, huh? Once we have that done, we can start to add low walls underneath each of the floating half walls. This gives us a big enough gap to see through, but too small for people to get through. The raid cost is also the same as whatever the material of the wall is, which is what makes this concept super strong. Additionally, using some cleverly placed small boxes, we can increase our defense abilities through these gaps a bit more, but first, let's do the ceiling. The final state of the final product should be sheet metal, but you can upgrade at your own pace. Please keep in mind that if this specific design is left stone, it can be soft side picked pretty easily from the outside. Next we'll place some small boxes to elevate our aim. With this one, I like to put it close enough to the left wall so I can easily move around on top of it. Now these boxes can be accessed from the outside if you get the right angle on it, so I wouldn't exactly store anything valuable in them. But the rest can be placed pretty much wherever you want. I found that placing them in each of the triangle corners like so works pretty well for me, and gives me a bunch of angles to defend from. To increase the raid cost and block vision to the main core section of our base, which is the sheet metal floor tiles beneath us, from the outside we'll use 6 garage doors. We'll place one in each of these wall frames. This will also allow you to control which area of the base outside engagements can come through, a key defense measure. Now I personally like a secondary area that allows you to fall back if you start to get overwhelmed. So using this garage door, if I can get it in, along with this wall, we can do just that. This gives you a more secure 1x1 relative to the elevator and even has a space for a large box. If we open this and come out here, you can kind of see how this floor works. I would love to know how you feel about this floor and its concept, so if you have time to, please let me know in the comments below. As you see here, you can open and close each of these garage doors one at a time depending on where you want to take your engagements. Also, these boxes, like I said, allow you to elevate your position and give you a huge advantage over the spots people will most likely either be hiding or raiding from. Before we get into the tour of the base, allow me to demonstrate some upgrades / additions that I recommend. Firstly, if we come into the airlock, we can upgrade a few walls and foundations like so. Following that, we can come around the left side and start upgrading our honeycombs foundations and walls as well. Remember, upgrading a wall 1 grade literally doubles the cost that it takes to access the tile that it's covering. As far as upgrading specific walls, there are a few more inside that I highly recommend upgrading. I'll show you right after I'm done with this honeycomb. Okay, so if we come in the front entrance, upgrading the core of the base's ceiling tiles can be very beneficial, and it's really cheap as well. I would also armor this TC wall, this floor tile, and these 3 wall tiles. Now you can upgrade this wall, but if the raiders come through your doors, they may choose to blow through that one, and that would be a good choice. Lastly, a lot of people like to use shop fronts to see door campers from the ground level. I can show a very basic example of this by throwing down a square foundation. I'll add 2 wall frames. Now when using metal shop fronts, I think the frames should be sheet metal to keep the raid cost similar. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can put our new door frame here and enclose it with the ceiling. Although this base does have really good roof access, I still think it's a great addition to any base. Nobody wants to run up to their roof every time you want to go outside. Going in through our front door, we have a shotgun trap. Behind our first garage door, we have a drop box section. You could also store basic items here. Going into the core, we have another shotgun trap. Here's where our furnaces are for cooking that precious sulfur. That way it goes up, and we have an auto turret and shotgun trap looking over this area. Behind this garage door, we have our level 3 workbench with boxes under it, and our sleeping bag. This is our main loot storage. It has 5 large boxes and 3 small ones. If we open this door, behind it is our tool cupboard. The way we get on the roof is by coming over here and jumping on this furnace, and then we open up this garage door. We went over the concept for this defense floor already, so I'd like to take this time to thank you for watching the video. If you watched it all the way to this point, you are incredible, and I thank you very, very much for the support. See you in the next one.